Okay, let's get started.
Ghosts are real. That much I know.
Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. So you can see from the title, today's video is going to be my full review with spoilers of Stay Alive, not the song, the horror film that came out in 2006. Now, as always, all my reviews are with spoilers. I do not do spoiler-free reviews for films that are already out. I apologize. But saying that disclaimer, let's get into the video. Now, Stay Alive follows a group of teenagers that, to find the answers to the mysterious death of their old friends, lie within the world of an online video game based on the true story of an ancient noblewoman known as the Blood Countess. Now, to give a brief summary of the story, the film opens with a guy playing a video game and he gets killed. So, game over. And his later kill and dies the same way that he died on the video game. That is what we see. We don't really see who is the killer, but of course later we're going to find out. Now, he was also with two friends in his house and they are also killed since they also played the game and they were killed the same way as on the video game. We had the funeral, we have his best friend that is the protagonist, and he meets a girl in the funeral that was a friend from one of the other that died. And he introduces her to his group of friends, and they are all intrigued because the last thing that he did was playing a video game because he worked as a video game tester and he got sent the video game, and that's what he was doing, of course, the night that he died. So they decided to do the same because they were like, well, if he was testing it and it's not out there yet, we can try it. Of course, this is the biggest mistake they can ever make because once they start playing the video game, one by one, once they die on the game, they will die the same way in real life. Of course, at the beginning, it's very bizarre. Don't want to believe that the video game is the reason why all of these things are happening, but they're going to eventually realize that the video game has a mind on its own. It's correlated to the story of the Countess Elizabeth Bathory, also known as the Bloody Countess. This is actually based in real events since she is a real person. Well, she has been dead for a very long time, but her legend is very well known. I will go a little bit deeper about that later. So they decide to go deeper into the origins of the video game. They are able to track the address of the person who sent the video game, and they realize that is the Grush plantation, that is where the game takes place and where Elizabeth Bathory used to live. Her spirit is out there and they need to get her body, and they need to put 3 nails on her forehead, like right here on her neck, like right here, and her chest. And then she needs to be burned. That's what they do. Of course, not the whole group survive. We only have 3 survivors. The rest of them, unfortunately, they will die the same way as they did on the video games. And the film ends with them thinking that they actually killed her, but it was too late because the game goes out in the market. And the film ends with the video game being released, a video game store, and everyone is seeing it. And that's how it ends. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this review is because I did one missed call. And I will say that in a way, in a very slight way, those films are similar. They're both low-rated films with a lot of CGI. But I actually love Stay Alive. It's one of my favorite horror films, and I'm gonna tell you why. I have seen this film a lot in my life. Ever since I was a child, the first time that I saw it, I was very impressed with the story, and it's one of the things I really like the most. It's very interesting. The film is 1 hour and 25 minutes. It's very short, but I think that the time is perfect. It doesn't need that much development. Characters are written in a way that you're going to like them and you're going to feel sorry for them, because we have enough time to connect with them so that when they die, we feel sorry and we are rooting for them to survive and defeat Elizabeth Bathory. The sets, I think that the Grush plantation and her whole house, since the film it takes place in New Orleans, it's a very cool set and it's very creepy. The house is gorgeous. I don't know if the house actually exists in New Orleans, because sometimes they can use like real places to film, but I am not sure if the house actually exists. I would love to go there. And on the film, at least, the house has on the back a cemetery and the tower where her body was. Since the film takes a lot of the real story, but of course with creative license, and they make some adjustments for the sake of the story. Now, to talk a little bit about who is Elizabeth Bathory, she was a noblewoman, and she has the Guinness record for the woman who has killed the most people in her life. She killed a lot of young women and girls because she used to bath in their blood, and she was also enjoying the process of torture. She had a torture chamber, and since she was a noblewoman, once she is found guilty of all the murders, she cannot be killed. She needs to get locked in a room, and she only has a small hole for air and for food. And she dies, I think that is a year later. I do not remember. But she eventually, of course, died, and she didn't last long. And the film takes some parts of the actual story and makes it into the film, which I think that is pretty interesting. I actually took a huge interest into Elizabeth Bathory legend and story once I saw the film the first time when I was little. Now, what I do dislike about this film is the overuse of CGI and how it looks. The film was ahead of its time. It's a film that used video game graphics. There's some moments where we are into the game. We are not always seeing them playing with the TV or maybe the computer. We are actually into the game. Something that, of course, by the time, it was something new. But of course, right now, it wouldn't. So the film didn't age well in terms of the CGI and these effects and the graphics. But I am pretty sure if they will do it now, the story will be completely different. I'm pretty sure that the graphics could be better. That in fact, the director, that is actually the same director that did Orphan First Kill, The Boy, and Brahms The Boy 2, he said on an interview on a podcast, Bloody Disgusting, on 2021, that he was pushing and planning to do a sequel. That would be so cool. I would love to see a sequel of Stay Alive. I'm pretty sure that they could have done it. I am pretty sure that they can do it better. They can take what worked on the first film and make it even better with better graphics of video games. Because the essence of the story is pretty cool, it's interesting, it's original, and it works. It can work once again, and they can expand. I mean, horror has evolved a lot, and also technology. So I do not see why they should do it. I definitely believe that they should do a sequel. A remake, I don't know how I would feel, since I think that the essence of the story is the fact that it was made on the early 2000s and the certain aesthetic that has with the video games. But at the same time, I think that maybe a remake can make some justice. So I am all for it. But being realistic, the film is not good. The film is not awful. This film has 10% in Rotten Tomatoes by the critics and 50 something by the audience. Since I have a soft spot for this film, and I know that a lot of people also. So that's probably why, although we can admit that it's not good, we still like it and enjoy it, because this is something that has said a lot. There's nothing wrong with enjoying bad horror films. There's nothing wrong, because I can admit that a film is not good, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to like it or have a good time. So that's the case with Stay Alive. But being realistic, for me, this film will be a 2 out of 5 and a 4 out of 10. Being very realistic and objectively talking. But if it were for me, I will tell you, go and watch this. It's a great film. I really enjoy this film. So if you have the chance, go and watch it. Seriously, it's very cool. And there's nothing wrong with watching bad horror films. And I think that the aesthetic is also pretty cool. So for me, the only thing that is bad is the CGI and the graphics. I cannot blame them because of the time. But we can not lie. Like the film didn't age well, but I can still watch it because I have a soft spot because I saw it so many times. And that's my reason. But well, I think that it has been all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below. Have you ever seen this? If not, trust me, you should do it. Maybe you will think that it's awful, but give it a try because honestly, it's fun. It's very entertaining and it's not boring. It's not boring at all. Like it's very entertaining and the story is fast paced, very simple, straight to the point, but it's worth watching. But well, thank you so much for watching it and I'm going to see you guys on my next video. Bye.
Ghosts are real. That much I know.